Julia, naalala mo ba bakit yung pangalan?
Create! So, to create stories after stories. So, the idea... Are you rolling? Sige. So, the idea kasi is to, create stories after stories. So, it's a play on words. Stories as in the floor or every floor of the house. And then stories as in storytelling. Because in every area of a home, you have these, like the kitchen or the living area. And you have these moments. You have these stories that you share with your kids, with your family. And these are, the things that make a house a home. And that was what this whole project was built around, that concept of creating stories after stories. And that's why it's called Likha Residences.
Oh. Very educational.
I remember. Today, we will be going around one of Finma Properties' current projects, Likha Residences. But first, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and click on the bell so you get notified for whenever we release new YouTube videos. We're on Facebook, so make sure you hit like and see first and follow us on Instagram at Presello_official. My name is Julia and welcome to another Presello open house tour. Mind you, this is a very special house tour. So this property is along kilometer 19 West Service Road, Muntinlupa City. So for those of you who are familiar, it is very accessible sa may SLEX, basically. And you're near MOA, you're near Alabang, you're near basically the south side of Metro Manila. Okay, so from the front, or the facade, you can already tell that it's a very clean and modern, but very distinctly Filipino project or house. So from the outside, this looks like one solid building because it is. However, this is a duplex. So yes, you have two units in this singular building, and it was purposely designed so that it looks like one giant house. And then I want to direct your attention to the roof because as simple as it may look from here, from eye level, it does have inside gutters. So you can't see the gutters from here, from where I am, or from where you are watching the video. And you can also appreciate from here the nice little planter boxes that they placed just by the balconies because it softens all of the very clean lines. So it maintains that very modern, almost minimalist, but still very warm and very tropical vibe. But speaking of tropical and being very Filipino, the first material that you will see on the ground floor is this beautiful adobe. So again, this project is very, very Filipino in nature or by nature. And this was one of the materials that they decided to use because again, it's 70s pa lang ginagamit ng adobe dito eh. Even before that, I believe. These specific kind of modern cut adobe tiles, not the adobe because that one's been used for hundreds of years already, I think. And then here on the side, you see what looks like louvers. Right, well this is actually jalousie. It is an opaque jalousie that is automated and you will see later on when it is opened. But here on the ground floor, so this one is a door that leads to maintenance. So I'm not quite sure what this electrical box is or where it leads to or what it controls, but that is one of the maintenance points in this house because yeah, there is a lot. So before we go to the main entrance. Let's first go to the side. And this is your carport, your two-vehicle carport. Now, look at the ground. So you can see that it's made out of basically two kinds of flooring. You have the smooth concrete over here, and then we have the washed out gravel, which is great for traction. Granted na konti lang naman yung slant niya, still, it's nice to have traction for your wet flooring for your tiles. Syempre, ayaw naman natin dumulas, di ba? Not that this is slippery, but for good measure. You have provision for your garden hose, and of course, you have a garden, but we'll go there later on. You can also see that there are some nice grills and a door that leads inside, but we're not gonna go through there. We're gonna go through the main entrance. Okay, now we go in. So your main door leads to this foyer. All right, so your foyer or your foyer isn't your typical boxy, small receiving area. So yes, it still functions as a receiving area. You have a nice little console set up over here, but the shape is different thanks to the fact that the stairs or your main stairs is at a 45-degree angle. And there is a benefit to that. Firstly, you have this space. It feels so much bigger than if it were, say, at a regular 90-degree. And then the second benefit of that you'll see later on. So under the stairs, we have storage with more maintenance inside, if you can see it. I know it's quite dark. Did I turn on the light? Oh, well, anyways. It's a lot of storage space. And then this is the door that leads out to your two-vehicle carport. So it's still very convenient. Straight from the main stairs, you can go out here instead of the main door if you wanted to. And so that it's easier to transport groceries as well. And then over here, we have a sliding door that leads to one of my favorite areas, the service area. This is so Filipino, okay? They paid so much attention to the service area because us Filipinos, we just love this area. You'll see why. So it's open, by the way. You have grills here that lead out, again, to the two-vehicle carport. There's no glass, there's no screen or anything, so it just lets the air flow in freely. You have more of the electrical panels over here. Like I said, there's a lot. And then we have here your general service area, so your washing machine or your laundry area, and then your sink for your daily cooking or washing. And right next to that, we have the staff quarters. So it's a really nice space. This is, of course, decorated. The unit does not come with a double deck, nor the wallpaper, I believe. But please do take note of the wallpaper because it is also very distinctly Filipino, modern, but Filipino. You know what does come with the unit though? The ceiling fans. So yes, even for the staff quarters, the ceiling fan does come as well as the built-in closet. So you have a 3-door setup over here. And then across the room, we have a toilet and bath, which, if I do say so myself, is quite impressive. Again, thanks to the stairs being at a 45-degree angle, the rest of the design followed suit, and you have a very interestingly shaped toilet and bath, which feels very, very spacious. You have your sink, you have your shower area, and then the water closet is just behind the door. So if you close the door, okay, the whole team is inside here. We're all wearing masks, don't worry. So if you close the door, see, it feels very spacious. I'm not sure if it shows in the camera, but if you were here in person, you definitely would appreciate this space. Comment down below if you also want to see this in person. Also, there's a link down in the description if you want to book a viewing. Okay. Oh, and before I forget, the light switches are about 1 meter high from the ground. That way it's accessible to kids or anyone who may not be able to reach it. Okay, so on this side, we have this open area, which honestly, the first time I saw it, I was like, ito talaga, sobrang Pinoy. It's where you dry your laundry. So it's open, it's outdoor, but it's still very private. You have the grill, again, that faces the two-vehicle carport so that you can hang your laundry in peace without fear of it flying to places or even worse, getting stolen, which is not an issue here, by the way, because this is a very secure subdivision. It's just a very Filipino mindset, as you will. Like, I have peace of mind knowing that my laundry will never get stolen. Right? Comment down below. And then this door leads out into the garden, which again, we will go to later. It's those little things, you know, like even if the place is very secure, pinag-isipan pa rin, nilagay pa rin nila, and I love that. Okay, now up the stairs we go. Which, by the way, has señorita steps. So if you can tell, it doesn't take much effort to go up. So going up the stairs, we also have these little light fixtures on the side so that, you know, you don't trip over your own feet or the steps. But what I like about it is these downlights are actually embedded into the wall. So I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, it probably just looks like a really bright light to you in the screen, because it does for me. But yeah, parang nakauka siya. It has a carving, and inside is where the light LED is. Okay, so there are a lot of things that I can point out in this project, to be honest, but this is one of them. So we have grills in here, mostly for safety reasons, but secondly, and just as important, decorative or aesthetics. So it is in a chevron pattern. Comment down below if you know what that is, or if you've known what it was even before I mentioned it, rather. So it comes in a chevron pattern, again at that 45-degree, aligned with the stairs. And the reason for that being, at night, when your curtains are drawn or when they're open, you will be able to see this from the outside, and it creates this really aesthetic view of your house. So this is very, very thought of. It's a really nice aesthetic element that they added into the house. Okay, so on the second floor, we have your living spaces. So you have your living room, which has access to sliding doors, which has access to a balcony. So you have a nice balcony with enough space for some seating on either side. You have a view of your compound or your community, and you have this tempered glass as rails. Thing is, there is no handrail, but they made sure that the edge of the glass is pencil edged. So it's very smooth. Walang corners, kumbaga. It's not gonna hurt your hands or anything. And of course, again, it's tempered glass, so it's not gonna shatterproof, basically. But they intentionally chose this instead of, say, a concrete or steel rail, because from the living room, when you're sitting down and you look out into your sliding door, glass doors, or you can also see the rest of your property, which has a lot of greens. So in a way, it brings the outside in. And that's brilliant. They even thought of that. And then from the living area, we have your dining area. Before we go into this room, I want to show you the kitchen. I love this area. Okay, this is so perfect for young or starting families. Don't you agree? Like, comment down below, but this is like the perfect size for a starting family. Okay, so your kitchen is a U-shape, basically. So you have your refrigerator, counter, a U-shaped counter space, and then your built-ins. So you have your sink, your stove or your range, and your banggarahan. So this is a very common design element. Actually, no, it's a practical element in Manyosa houses, and it is also in here. So what is a banggarahan, you may ask? Basically, it's a drying rack that's built in. So very easy when you wash your dishes, patong mo na lang yung mga plato mo dyan. It has a drain in the bottom, so you don't have to worry about that. So again, it's a very Filipino concept applied in the modern home. I love it. Because comment down below, but a lot of Filipino homes has those plastic drying racks, right? Which I'm not gonna hate on because it's very practical, but then this is also, it's basically the upscale version of that. I love it. Okay, so again, the U-shaped counter, you have your cupboards up top with the glass and then the open cubbies. These are not included. The air conditioning is though. Okay, and then right next to the kitchen, we have your guest toilet and bath. And then your living area, since we're here anyway, also includes the ceiling fan. So all the ceiling fans that you will see is included, and even some of the downlights or the drop lights, like this one. Okay, so we have now here bedroom number 1. Okay, so you have a lot of space. Granted, the bed is pushed back at the wall, but this is, I believe, a queen-sized bed, so you can fit that in here along with the desk. You again have your ceiling fan. You even have a smoke alarm here. And oh, this is interesting. So I'm not sure this is included. I don't think it is. But even the wallpaper they chose is a mixture of Chevron and herringbone. So it's a hybrid pattern, but I like that they incorporated that. And then you have your built-in wardrobe over here. So it's one, oh, I love how minimalist that looks. So it's one, technically it's a one door, but then get 2 smaller doors, it's a double door wardrobe. But it's one space. Kumbaga sa Sims, it takes up 1 slot. Comment down below if you know what I mean. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you click like and subscribe if you haven't already, so that you get notified for whenever we release these special feature house tours. Okay, so we are now reaching the 3rd and top floor, and I want to draw your attention to this because this is included. They deliberately chose this drop light, or this chandelier, you could say, a modern chandelier, because of the shadows it casts on the wall. So it's very Filipino. It almost has that pabalat feel, right? Or a very fiesta vibe, but again, modern. And then from here, we again can see the continuation of the jalousie. So it's still closed. I'm gonna open it later on, but I wanna show you this one first. So it does have a screen. It has a screen. And I love that it has this, hold on. You hear that? You hear that? Very solid. Alright, so anyway, we're gonna bring this up so that you can later appreciate, oh, it's even slow. Nice. So the string is obviously for when you want to pull it down. So you have that option, am I British? So you have that option to have that screen or lift it up. And the switch for this. So there's switches on either floor, but I'm gonna use this one. And when I click this, look at that. It's so cool. I mean, I know these things exist, but this is my first time to see an automated jalousie that's opaque. Usually jalousies I see are manual, albeit very nice manual ones, and are clear. So these are opaque and automatic. So this is great for cross ventilation. It lets the air in and flow throughout the house, and it goes out through several other ways, including the grills that you saw earlier. So that's perfect again for cross ventilation. But that is not the only ventilation available in this house. Whoops. Wrong panel, because we also have stacked ventilation. So that refers to this one up top. So we have here a sort of chimney, you could say, but it's not for smoke or anything. It is for your light. So you have clerestory windows up top, which lets the light bounce off against the light walls throughout the home. And that's the reason why the house is basically used white or off-white paint. And then you also have, if you can see, gaps along the side. So those are shadow gaps, also for ventilation. So hot air goes up, air will seep through those shadow gaps and lead to the exhaust, like up top. Like we can't really see it from here, but it's there. It's super cool. I love that idea. Okay, and you can't really see this chimney from the outside. You can probably see it from the aerial shot though. Okay, so you have your 3rd floor landing over here, and it leads to 2 doors. And this one leads to your master bedroom. So you have more space. You also utilize more of that 45-degree angle. So you have your huge bed over here, and then some entertainment. And again, access to the 3rd floor balcony. Again, you have the ceiling fan. And then my favorite part of the master bedroom, and one of my favorite rooms for sure in this house, the ensuite toilet and bath. It's so cool because the first thing you see is your his and her sinks, right? Here in the middle, it's an island counter, but for the bathroom, you have your huge mirror. And then on this side, we have the water closet. And then on this side, we have the enclosed shower space. It's so cool. I love that they were able to separate the shower area and the water closet or your toilet area, but still be in one very fluid space. And then on the other side of your sink, you have your wardrobe. So 2 areas, his and hers, and then some shelving on the side. My gosh, I love that. I love this bathroom idea. And also, check these out. So all of the doors have these hinges. Comment down below if you know what they are, but they are invisible. You can't see them from inside or the outside when you close the door. So yeah, comment down below because I've forgotten my vernacular when it comes to this. I only remember butterfly hinges, but these are not butterfly hinges. Okay, so that's it for the master bedroom. And the final bedroom is across the floor. And again, you have a lot of space. You have your desk area, your wardrobe, again with the ceiling fan, and something I didn't point out earlier, you have huge windows, like huge windows, right? So all of the rooms have these. And if you noticed, the cove, sorry, curtain cove, okay, sorry. And if you noticed earlier, we have curtain coves, which is basically a cove in the ceiling or a recess in the ceiling that hides the top part of your curtains, or in this case, the roll-ups, to create a really clean look from your ceiling and then transitioning to your window treatments or your curtains. And of course, again, this is designed, but I mean, if you really wanted this for the house, you probably could talk to the developer about that. And then it has an ensuite, toilet and bath. So again, you have your sink, your shower space, and then your water closet is behind the door. So yeah. I mean, it only looks weird in the video, really, but in person, it's great. Syempre kasi, nagsasalubong kami ni John. So, yeah. And again, more of the sprinklers, the alarm system. It's complete. Okay, so what else did we miss? No, I think we pretty much covered the entire floor, except for the garden, which is where we will be going now. And we are finally out in the garden. So this is technically not included, but again, if you wanted the same setup for the garden and your patio over here, not a problem. You can definitely tell Finma or Likha Residences about it. Okay, so you also actually have a garden over here. You have side access to another garden. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's so nice. It looks so tropical with the big leaves and everything. Ah, what a gorgeous project. Okay, so about the project though, depending on which unit you get, actually there's only 2 sizes for the units. You either get the 238 one or the 324 square meter floor area one. But the lot area though, now that one has quite a variation to it because you can get anywhere between 90 to 216 square meters of lot area. Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of a quite a range. And then you have 3 bedrooms, 4 toilet and baths, a staff quarters, a really nice service area, again with the actual service area, and then your drying area for your laundry. A 2 vehicle carport with that very interesting floor with the smooth cement and the washed out gravel. And then actually not but a solid garden area over here. Again, this is not included, but if you wanted to, not a problem. And then the actual project. So you have 68 units spread out in a 1.2 hectare project. 68 in 1.2 hectares. If you think about it, that's quite low density. Of course, that still includes the clubhouse, which has a swimming pool, function area, gym, etc. And then this again was built by Finma Properties, which promises on timeless design. As you have seen, it has a very timeless and Filipino design. It also promises on security. So you've got 24-hour security and actual peace of mind, which brings me to good service, great customer service, and proximity. So this again is along kilometer 19 West Service Road in Muntinlupa City. So if again you're familiar, it's near the airport, it's near BGC, it's near Alabang, basically the south side of Metro Manila. Now that's FINMA Properties, but this is the specific project is Likha Residences. So it is their current pre-selling project. It's a beautiful, again, Filipino-inspired project. And if you want more information about this, make sure you check out their website. It's down in the description below. Or you can call us. We answer inquiries daily between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Or if you want to book a viewing, go to our website at www.presello.com. Invest in your future. Invest with us. Invest with Presello. Hey guys, if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, make sure you click here. And if you want to see more house tour videos, click right here. And we also have this new thing called Working Lunch with Presello, where I and a few random people talk about a few random things related to real estate. So if you want to join in on the conversation, make sure you click right here.